Hey everyone, this is Dan from InsideBars.com, and this educational video we're going to be breaking down the basics of what is an inside bar. And the very simple answer is that an inside bar is a pattern that you will find forming on every single time frame, on every stock commodity, anything that you can possibly trade. The human psychology and emotional aspect of trading makes this pattern form time and time again. And the benefit of recognizing this pattern is being able to act on it, see clear setups, and have more confidence in your trade. So that's what we do at InsideBars.com. We send out automatic trade signals when these patterns are forming to tell us, heads up, there is a clear pattern forming and a break is going to be occurring. And we're always going to be adding different features to this website. So looking forward to the future of InsideBars.com and all the different tools that we can utilize as traders. Hey everyone, I'm going to look at gold, silver, bull miners, bear miners, and USLV on the daily and weekly time frame. So let's start off with gold. Gold has changed the trend on the daily time frame by breaking the support of 1239.53. We have broken the higher low pattern, and that shifts our mindset. So now on bounces, we look for lower highs to form, and that's because that key support has broken. This is a significant pullback, and we zoom out and look at things on a broader picture. It does still have a few higher lows on this bounce that originated back at the end of 2016, but it is a big setback in the short term. So could the bulls turn things around and head back to 1300? Absolutely they could, but it's going to require bounce attempts and then higher lows and higher highs for the bulls to regain their mojo, so to speak. As of right now, lower high is absolutely anticipated on this bounce, and at this point it's just an oversold bounce. So we do need to be cautious. This is not a go long signal just because we are bouncing. If you do want to initiate a go long position, we have a clear stop loss level, and that's the low of this price that we've seen so far at this point, and that's down at 1214.13. So if we were to break that level, that would be just another lower low, and we would be looking down at 1195, 1194.86. If that level were to break, that's the next support. So once we did break this low, and let's put another line there, it was very clear that further downside was coming, and that's because look at the move to the upside. We just had a straight shot of 6 green days in a row. We didn't establish support on the way up. When you see a move that quick, it's very easy to drop back down through those levels because of that. And it's the same thing here. We had a straight drop to the downside, so it was easy for the bulls to recover. So not much price action established support or resistances in that range, and that's why once we broke this low of 1239.53, we saw a very quick $20 drop to the downside in just a few days. So the bulls do have some momentum on this short-term bounce. We'll be keeping an eye on the MACD to see if we can get a bullish cross. In order for the bulls, like I said, to gain momentum, we need to see the high of a bounce, we need to consolidate and form a higher low, and then we need to get a higher high for that follow-through. And let's look at the weekly time frame here for a longer term perspective. Again, that's a nice tightening pattern to be watching. That's what I'm watching longer term. We have 2 touches down here of support, plenty of touches of resistance. So this is very clearly a valid downtrend resistance line. In terms of support, we need one more touch for it to be valid. It's all the way down at 1160, but this is a tightening pattern on the weekly time frame over the past year and a half to be watching going forward for gold. And we're not going to see a break of this pattern for another few months at the earliest, in my opinion. So there's no rush on that, but I do like the way that this tightening range is shaping up. So we'll look at silver after this. Let's get to the bull miners here. So we have a nice bounce playing out, and we saw increasing volume on the way up. We saw a bullish MACD cross. The original indication that a bounce was playing out was, number one, our bullish reversal candlestick being confirmed. We had not confirmed a bullish reversal candlestick in a convincing manner since this pullback started. We had bullish reversal candlesticks, but no confirmation. So we got our confirmation, and then here's what I was just talking about with gold on the daily. We had our higher low and higher high. As soon as you establish that higher low and higher high, you give confidence to the bulls. If you're trying to make a recovery in just a straight shot off the new low, that's not as believable. Once you establish that new higher low, it gives all kinds of strength going forward and confidence, and then you see follow through. So the bulls did a good job here in this 6-day bounce. We took back about 2 weeks of downside. In terms of resistance, the highest price we've seen is 22.88. I'm looking at resistance of 22.92 and a little gap at 23.08. This is a bearish reversal doji. After a few big moves to the upside over a couple days, if we see a red day on Monday, it will confirm that we need to consolidate and form another higher low of support. We formed a higher low all the way down at 21.22, but then we saw a big time move to the upside, another 4% move. Now we need a new higher low to be established to keep the bulls confident in this move. Weekly time frame here is showing a bull bull reversal hammer being confirmed this week, and we have a tight range to be watching. We did break to a lower high and a lower low on GDX. The bulls are trying to defend this 200-week moving average. We closed just on it twice now, just below it. But it's clear that the bulls are trying to defend this level, as we have seen 5 weeks, 6 weeks actually, in the past 2.5, 3 months, bouncing off that level. That level is 21.59, and if we see a clear close below that level, it will be notable weakness. The junior miners not seeing nearly as strong a bounce. We've been pointing out how the senior miners have been stronger for weeks and weeks compared to the junior miners, probably months at this point. But we did see a bounce play out nonetheless, and we still have a similar bearish reversal candlestick. If we see a red day on Monday, we need to establish a higher low. Right now, the higher low is at 29.68, and we're well above that level. We need to pull back, form another higher low, and then try and get a higher high for continuation. GDXJ on the weekly time frame had a much more significant pullback. Let's just compare that again. GDX on the weekly does have a lower high and a lower low, but it wasn't a significantly lower low. And you look at GDXJ, and it was. So here for GDXJ, it's the 100-week moving average that's being defended. We've held it 4 times here. That level is 30.34, and it must continue to hold for these bulls if they do want to not fall apart, really. The support of 27.37 is an absolute must-hold level, and to compare where that stands on GDX, and that's back down here at 1858 as the must-hold level, and we're significantly above that level currently. So we're not nearly as close to losing that support as GDXJ might be. So again, just want to highlight, if you're looking to play miners bullish, I would suggest NUGT, and if you're looking to play miners bearish, I would suggest JDST. Just playing off the way that we are seeing these individual things, these individual instruments trade. And that's because these junior miners partially is because they're exposed to silver. And silver made a much more significant bear break than gold did. Look at this low from back in March, mid-March. And look at how we dumped right through that level. And let's look at gold on mid-March on the daily time frame. There's mid-March. We have a higher low. It's still intact. Silver fell right through that level and all out dumped. It's much more significant. The RSI on silver broke under 20. The RSI on gold did not break 30. So we are looking for an oversold bounce. We were watching USLV, which is the bullish 3 times ETF on silver. We were watching it all week and patiently waiting. We had our bullish reversal candlestick. The confirmation was weak. We were still not convinced then. A lot more comfortable on Thursday. And then we saw the follow through on Friday. So there were some nice gains here. We were looking, and we are still looking, for a 5 to 10% move from the bottom here because of the oversold bounce. Not looking to change the trend, just looking to lock in some quick gains to cool off the RSI, which you can see is now back above 30 on the daily. We've got a bullish MACD cross potentially coming in. Resistance on silver is going to be up at 1650 and then 1661. And I do expect that the bulls will have a bit more momentum here, trying to form some higher lows and higher highs to see this bounce play out. So USLV on the daily time frame, bullish reversal hammer, not convincing confirmation. And then Thursday, we did get that more convincing confirmation. And then Friday, we saw the gap up open. Indecision here as well. So same story. If we consolidate, considering we're coming straight off the low with a bounce 3 days in a row, we need to form a higher low and then a higher high for this bounce to play out. We're still oversold here. We're right at oversold on the daily time frame, still trying to recover. So we've had some nice short-term gains in silver so far, looking for some potential further upside. Personally, I would have locked in any gains heading into the weekend, and I would look to re-enter on this consolidation that we are anticipating. Weekly time frame for silver, bullish reversal hammer. For USLV, this is actually. And that low of 1084, we held it with a higher low of 1096. So bulls need another green week to follow through this candlestick and confirm it. And we're looking for the silver bulls to see a little bit more of a substantial move to the upside due to the fact that we were so much more oversold. So I appreciate you watching, and certainly lots to be watching as we head into this next week. And we hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you soon.